Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model review for Wednesday the 13th of October 2021. The time is 0440 GMT, Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American session. Right, yesterday then, Tuesday the 12th, we had a negative opposed driver in the yen at minus 68. Front and backdoor flows mainly going into the dollar at plus 59, into the pound at plus 41, and the euro is the negative rock at minus 32. Activity plus or minus 100. Right, intra-week then, this is from Monday the 11th, open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative unopposed driver in the yen, minus 412, no backdoor flows. The opposing positive flows mainly going into the pound at plus 157, into the dollar at plus 149, and the euro is the positive rock at plus 106. Activity plus or minus 412. Right, so over the week then we've had this weak yen, and last week we had this weak yen driving. And yesterday we've still got this weak yen driving, but it's opposed at the moment, and it's opposed by the euro, and so you've got this situation where the pound is starting to come off a little bit, the euro is starting to come up, and the dollar is starting to come off as well. And if we look at the intraday, which is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago, we've got a negative unopposed driver in the dollar at minus 68. No backdoor flows, the opposing positive flows mainly going into the euro at plus 41, into the pound at plus 26, and the yen is just the positive rock at a plus 1. Activity plus or minus 68. So the Asian session is showing this progression of dollar weakness. The yen is stiffening up. It's come up through the gears. So it's over the week it was it's in fifth in reverse, and there it's in fourth in reverse, and we're now in first going forwards. So if you want to view it in that way, so we're going to stop it there and write up the flows. Right, we're back. We've written up the flows then. So the euro is strong across the board. The yen is strong except against the euro, the pound, and the Swiss. The pound is strong except against the euro. The Swiss is strong except against the euro and the pound. The CAD is weak except against the dollar and the AUD. The AUD is weak across the board. The NZD is weak except against the AUD, the dollar and the CAD. And the the dollar is weak except against the AUD. So what have we got? We've got euro strength across the board. We've got AUD weakness across the board. And you've also got pound strength bar the euro. And you've got dollar weakness bar the AUD. So that's just something to bear in mind. What's going to knock it about? Well, today then, which is the 13th, we've got China trade balance, German CPI, US CPI, so we've got inflation data. And then tonight we've got the big one, we've got the Fed FOMC minutes, which are early evening for us in the UK. We've got tier 2 GBP industrial production slotted in there somewhere in between all that lot. So that's something. And then tomorrow, Thursday the 14th, we've got AUD employment change and China CPI. And Friday, sort of the main event really will be US retail sales. So that sort of boxes us in. Right, we'll stop that there and then we'll write up the asset classes and do the final analysis. Right, we've written up the asset classes then. So the dollar index has basically been pumped right up. It's come back a bit. It's 0.10 from the high, so it's 10% off the modelled high. So gold won't really like a strong dollar, and it's 0.34 from the floor, so it's about a third off the modelled floor, well below half marks. Oil did this break. It went up about roughly 28 to 30% above the model high, above the resistance, and now it's come back a bit. It's 0.125 from the high, so it's come back an eighth. off the model high. So oil softened slightly, but it's still well above the break. Wall Street, S&P and Tech, they've all got this sort of charge up, break down, come back and mess about, sort of look about them within a range. Wall Street's 0.42 from the floor, S&P's 0.29 from the floor, and the Tech's 0.20 from the floor. So they're all well below half marks. Wall Street being the relative strongest, S&P next, and the Tech is the weakest. And interestingly, Apple and some of the big boys were selling off yesterday. Right, US 10-year and the bund. So this is the price. We've got this general chop down in price. So we've got strong yields. We had that break of support in the price. So we got even stronger yields on the US 10 and the bund. And the US 10-year slightly come up in price. So the yields are just moderating slightly, whereas the bund is steaming fully down on the price. So relatively speaking, European yields are outgunning US yields, which will have a bearing on the euro strength. And if you look at the flows, euro is strong across the board in the Asian session. Now that's not just due to that; it's due to positioning as well. But anyway, so that's the bonds. We've got copper. Copper's been chopping about. It was weak. It's now 0.31 from the high, so it's a third off the modelled high. So it's come back, but it's pretty range bound and erratic. US steel on the deck, but it's come off the deck slightly, 0.17 from the floor, 17% above the model floor. So arguably the raising of the debt ceiling and all the rest of the political gubbins in the US has helped. Right, so that's that. Let's do the final analysis. So today we've got this Fed minutes, which we've got US retail sales on Friday, which obviously the Fed will know all the figures for that. I mean, that's all baked in. So anyway, so we've got the dollar, the euro, the yen, and the pound in the majors, the CAD, the AUD, the NZD, and the Swiss, really. So we've got the FOMC minutes, and this is going to be about about the taper. They started dribbling information about where they were happy about a November taper and all the rest of it. The euro, you've got the bunds which are showing strength. So you've got that's the price. So you've got rising yields which are starting to outgun dollar strength. The yen has been this sort of negative unopposed driver for quite some time, and normally that's either the start of a big ramp down or putting in a floor in the components. So that's where we are there. So you're likely, and equities obviously are soft. So looking at it, and the commodity currencies are starting to become soft as well. So and the Swiss has got a bit of strength, as has the yen. So the likelihood is you're going to see this sort of like strength in the yen. So you're going to get plus in the yen. You're going to see strength in the Swiss. The dollar's going to start hockey sticking down. The euro's got a lot going for it from a positional sense. So if I could write, so we'll double plus the euro, and the pound has had a good run. The pound's going to be neutral to negative, and the commodity currencies are probably going to be negative as well. So that's where we are. So expect, depending on what the Fed says later tonight, but going forward, it looks like the dollar's pretty starting to become cooked. The euro's going to be in play from tomorrow on the up, and maybe today. It's starting to look like it in the Asian sessions. It's strong across the board, and the yen is likely to they're likely to take the foot off the short yen positions, and so you're going to start to see strength. And the yen in the Asian session was just the positive driver at +1, so positive rock, sorry, at +1. So that's where we are. Hope that was useful. See you tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thanks for watching.